Hello, my galactic soul family. Welcome. And if you're new, welcome. So today, I want to talk to all of you guys about grounding and earthing. I want to bring awareness into your reality about earthing and grounding. A lot of you guys that have been following me for years know that I've talked about grounding probably from day one. And there's all different ways, all different kinds of ways that you can ground yourself. And I've probably shared, I don't know, at least 20 different ways that you can ground yourself. And I have talked about earthing. But there are a lot of people that are starting to wake up and they're new to all of this earthing, grounding, spiritual lingo and the techniques on how to, you know, do any of this. So I just wanted to bring awareness to this. Plus, I've also added, I'm not new to grounding, I'm not new to earthing, but I have incorporated a new, I guess you can say, a new tool into my healing practice. And I'm going to eventually talk about that, later on in this audio. So I really just wanted to I was inspired because of the new tool that I'm using to get grounded. And it actually inspired me to talk about it and, I don't know, just bring it up again for the new people and for people that, are not new to this, just as maybe like a refresher for them, for all of you. So let's get into it. Let's talk about earthing. Let's talk about grounding. And I want to ask all of you guys that are listening, are you earthing? Are you grounded? Or are you ungrounded? Could the lack of earthing or grounding be the reason so many of us suffer from some sort of dis-ease and suffer from heart disease, fibromyalgia, adrenal fatigue, MS, Alzheimer's? And those are just to name a few. All of these are diseases of some kind. Autoimmune disease. You know what they all have in common? Inflammation. Inflammation. The disconnect from Earth, from Gaia, could be killing us, literally killing us. Human beings are the most unhealthiest living organism on the planet because all living organisms on the planet are grounded, and we're the only ones insulated and not grounded anymore. We used to be, but we're not anymore. We're not grounding because we are constantly insulating ourselves, shielding ourselves, blocking ourselves 24/7 from getting outside and connecting to Gaia, getting outside and connecting with the sun. We sleep in beds that are elevated, they're up off the floor. We're not grounding because we're up off the floor. But our ancestors slept on the ground on animal hide. We wear shoes with rubber soles. Our ancestors wore animal hide, or they walked around barefoot. We live in homes that are insulated and sometimes on multiple levels away from the ground, covered in wall-to-wall carpeting. We are insulated. A lot of us that are in our 40s, 50s, and older, we weren't stuck in the house all day. We spent a majority of our life outside, connected to Earth in some way. We were at least getting sunshine. We were at least connecting with the sun. There were a lot of people that played outside and let their kids play outside barefoot, and it wasn't like a big deal like it is nowadays. Maybe it's not a big deal for some people, but I know a lot of people that will not let their kids go outside barefoot. There's even adults that find it disgusting to walk outside barefoot. But I feel like back in the days it wasn't such a big deal, not like it is now. We practically lived outside as kids. At least we were connected in some way. Nowadays, our kids are just inside. They're shielded. They're blocked away from the sun. If they go outside, they're, smothering themselves in sunblock. Kids don't even really get outside. They're inside watching TV. They're on their video games. They're in their virtual reality games. They don't go outside. They don't connect. Our human race is so disconnected, it's not even funny. A typical day for a human person, adult kid, is we wake up from our ungrounded bed and we leave our house and we go to work or school for like 8 hours a day. We're surrounded by electronics and we are insulated. If our kids get a chance to go outside, they're not able to take their shoes off. They're usually playing in a play yard that's covered in either a rubber mat or some sort of concrete or asphalt. It's not like they're able to take their shoes off and go run around in the grass. Most schools have a caged-in area where your kids can play, and most schools will not let you allow your children to take their shoes and socks off because of safety reasons. If you're an adult, you get about 30 minutes for lunch, an hour if you're lucky. And if you live in a big city and you work in a big city, if you get 30 minutes, by the time you get out of your building and into the park, there's 30 minutes right there. You don't even have time to take your shoes off and plant them in the grass as you sit on a park bench. So we are constantly shielding and blocked and insulated 24/7. And this is a problem. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we're surrounded by electromagnetic energy. We are absorbing it and holding it in our body. Now, holding the electromagnetic radiation, holding this energy in our body comes from our devices, comes from the wires and everything around us. The EMF, which stands for electromagnetic frequency, we're surrounded by this dirty frequency, this energy pollution. And it comes from the Wi-Fi, the cell towers, our cell phones, our TVs, our laptops, the wires in our home, the wires outside, the ones that are in the ground, the ones that are on the poles. We're surrounded by this dirty energy. It's everywhere. It disturbs our electrical balance. And then we end up getting charged up, and not in a good way. We're getting charged up in a bad way. This EMF comes into our body and it's destroying it. It's drying it up. And it's drying up your organs. It's kind of like it's cooking them. I'm not telling you that it is cooking them. It's kind of like it's cooking. It's kind of like a microwave, but it's not as intense as a microwave. I don't want you guys to get scared. I tried to reword this to make it less scary, but I really want to bring awareness to you. I want you to know that it is harmful, but you can also do something about it. This EMF is destroying your cells. It's dehydrating you from the inside out. It's drying you out. And it's destroying everything inside your body that protects your cells, your organs, your blood, everything. And what it's doing is causing inflammation. And this inflammation will eventually cause a disruption in your body, a dis-ease in your body that will eventually lead to illness. I'm not trying to scare you, but this is what's happening. This is our reality. And we're acclimating to this energy. You know, we've been living in this energy, so this is our reality. And we're acclimating to the frequency. Some of us make it, some of us don't. Some of us live in it and we're very sick. And that's why I'm here talking to you, because I'm here to tell you that there's something that you can do to help yourself acclimate to live in this frequency. This is our reality. It's not like they're going to take down, the 5G and take away Wi-Fi and stuff like that. I don't see that in our future. I don't see them going backwards in technology. So we have no choice but to acclimate to this energy that we are in. We're energy beings, so we just got to vibe differently, guys, so that we can live in this energy. And you're the creator of this reality. So if you think of this energy as bad energy and it's killing you, then it's going to kill you. But if you tell yourself that you can, if everything gets an upgrade, and even the low vibrational or the powers that be, do upgrades, and I don't know how to say this to make it make sense. So they're doing things on the planet that is an upgrade. They're upgrading your Wi-Fi faster and your cell phone speed and all that stuff. Then, of course, the frequencies change and shift. Therefore, our frequencies will have to change and shift so that we can live and, in this energy and survive. I think of it like this. And Clint Ober, I don't know if I'm saying his name right. He compared it to cable TV. So it's like cable in the 80s. If we're not grounded, we will get interference. So if the cable back in the 80s, for those of you that remember, when they hooked up cable TV, if it wasn't grounded, if your wires were not grounded, your TV was fuzzy. And you'd have to call the cable guy, and you'd have to come over, and you have to mess around with your wires and, fix them and ground them so you wouldn't have that fuzzy, with squiggly lines on your TV and all that. Some people got interference, and it's because the cable wires were not grounded. Same with our body. If we're ungrounded, we're going to get interference. So we have to ground ourselves to fix that. All we have to do is adjust, and we'll be fine. Because there's no turning back at this point. We're evolving in the age of technology. We are in these new waves of energy. Now, I hope that we don't keep increasing them, but we probably will, causing more energy pollution, because that's what we do. We cause pollution. We're humans. We like to destroy everything because we weren't taught how to take care of anything, because we're so disconnected. So yeah, I hope that we don't keep increasing energy pollution, but I don't know. I feel that if we keep allowing to be ruled over by these, by these powers that be, by the powers that be, we're going to be heading into the robot human phase, the transhuman, the human 2.0, what I talked about in my last video that was almost 4 hours long. I feel like we're going to be heading into the robot phase if we keep allowing the government, the powers that be, to control us, to rule over us, and to take away every freedom that we think we have. We're going to be heading into the robot phase. Technology is just going to keep progressing, getting better, I guess, if depends on who you ask. We're going to be heading into this robot phase because human flesh and blood and organs will one day not have the minerals and water and sunlight and, electrons from the earth to keep us healthy enough to live on this or in this environment. We will have no choice. We will have to merge with machine to thrive, to survive, unless we make some effort to be more loving to our earth, to Gaia, and respect her and help keep her clean. However, right now, today, I have a solution for you. It's not hopeless. All you have to do is plug in. Start plugging into Gaia. Get grounded. Start earthing. Get grounded. The earth has a natural system to ground our body. If you walk outside right now barefoot, take your shoes off, take your socks off, go outside barefoot, you release the charge I spoke about a few moments ago, the bad charge that our body is collecting from all the Wi-Fi and all that. We're insulated, so we're not able to get rid of and release that charge. We're just carrying it around in our bodies, creating more inflammation, building up charge. High voltage. Go outside right now. Take your socks and shoes off. Stand in the grass, stand in the sand, stand in the dirt, stand in a lake, the ocean, a pond, and release the charge. If you go outside and stand barefoot in the grass, you will release that charge, that high voltage that you have been carrying around all day, all week, all month, all year. That high voltage charge energy is causing so much havoc in your body, so much pain and harm to your body physically. Not just physically, mentally, spiritually. When you take off your shoes, you go from being insulated to conductive. And you start grounding. You're grounded. This is not just woo-woo spiritual bullshit. There's science to back this up. Being on sand, dirt, grass, the lake, the ocean is better than standing on the concrete. But if that's all you got, then stand on the concrete. When you are barefoot, you are collecting the electrons from the sun, the negative ions. Yes, the negative ions. You know those salt lamps that you guys seen in my house from my videos? It gives off the negative ions. I've spoke about this before. Negative ions are good. Positive, bad. I know it's weird, right? I don't know who thought that up, but negative, good, positive, bad. The sun is our life force energy. It's constantly throwing out electrons. And as they come to Earth, the electrons get thrown into the ionosphere. They charge up the ionosphere, and then the ionosphere releases these electrons and they turn into lightning. And the lightning transfers those negative ions to the surface of Earth, of Gaia. The surface of the Earth is electrically conducted, and that's how you collect the electrons that come from the sun. And we spend a lot of time avoiding the sun. We block it and insulate. We hibernate. We are so out of touch. We're so out of tune. And we need to get back to our roots. A lot of us don't even know what our roots are because we were never taught any of this. It's built into us. When we were kids, what kids like to have shoes on their feet? Most kids I knew like to be outside. They like to play in the dirt. They like to take their shoes off. And nowadays, most kids are just inside. So we need to get back to our roots. I know it's uncomfortable for some people to get reconnected when they spend, most of their life or spent most of their lives blocking or unplugged from Gaia, from nature. Everything natural and healthy, when you are trying to get plugged back in or reconnect, wake up, connect with nature, the earth and all that, it may feel very uncomfortable at first. Everything natural and healthy always creates some sort of a detox symptom, side effect that feels like you're doing something wrong, or it'll make you feel like you can't do this because of the side effects. Mostly like when you're changing your diet from food or something like that, from eating, starting to eat cleaner causes a lot of detox. But, getting outside and getting plugged back into the planet can also feel wrong to some people, can cause some sort of a detox for you. And it doesn't have to be a physical detox. It could be a mental detox. But if you get past it and you do this thing, ground, this thing, earthing, that thing, if you can do it for 30 days, even though it's uncomfortable at first, it's out of your element, it's not your thing, in 30 days, you will wish you've been doing this your whole life. I promise you. Try grounding for 5 minutes. I would try grounding for 15 minutes. But I mean, for those of you that are really like skeptical about this, 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking. 5 minutes a day. Then increase it to 10 minutes. Work your way up. Now, if you have a condition or take medication, and, you take some sort of medication or something's wrong with you where you cannot be in the sun because of a certain lotion you put on the body or a certain medication that you take that doesn't allow you to get sunlight, and you're like, you can't get outside, you can't get in the sun, you can't ground, you can do this at night. You can stand outside in the grass at night or the sand or the dirt at nighttime. If you can't, I know some people that are on antibiotics cannot. Certain antibiotics, you have to avoid the sun. Some lotions, you have to avoid the sun. I don't know. I'm sure there's other stuff. There's always something. There's always something. But there's a way around this, guys. You can do this at night if you want to. If you're just like a vampire person and you hate the sunlight for whatever reason, but you still want to get earthing, you could do this at night. For the rest of us, we need sun rays, guys. We need to get that vitamin D. The sunlight is important for you. You need sunlight. You need nature. You need to be outdoors. We were not meant to be inside, sitting down all day. That's not how we are created. Our bodies are not built this way. We're not supposed to be tech junkies. We're supposed to be nature junkies. We should be outside. Like sitting next to the tree and shit, talking to the birds. We need sunlight. We need nature. We need the charge of the earth. We need to get back into the natural flow of life and stop blocking and shielding from the sun, which is our life force energy. Without it, you'd be dead. I want you guys to I think you can watch this movie on YouTube. I watched it on well, actually I got the movie for free in my kit that I bought, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But I just seen that you can watch this on YouTube. Even though I got the free movie with my kit, I'm subscribed to Forbidden Knowledge, so I actually watched it there. I want you to watch the movie called Earthing. Oh my God, guys. It's so good. I read the book because I got the book for free too. Well, it was in my Earthing kit that I purchased. But Clint Uber, and so many others they talk so much about earthing. And I'm so happy that grounding earthing is getting so much traction lately. Like there's so much energy and focus on getting grounded in earthing. I mean, if you've been on your awakening journey, your awakening path for years, a lot of you already know that, grounding is, important. Because if you're healing, people will ask you, are you grounding? Are you grounded? And they're always asking you that question. But I don't think people were taking it as serious as it's starting to be taken now. More and more, I'm so happy more and more people are talking about this, and there's a light is shining on this. There's awareness to this. And other people are getting connected. And I think that it's great. Because more of us need to ground. We need to get earthing. And we need to start healing, guys. There's so much disease. So much inflammation. And doctors, they don't even know why so many people have what they have. I mean, grounding is not the only reason why there's inflammation or disease. I mean, there's so many other reasons. But being ungrounded is one of them. Like I said, I was telling people about this 10 years ago, and people looked at me like I was a lunatic. If I wanted to be outside barefoot, they thought it was disgusting. However, a lot of those people today, the ones that thought I was a lunatic, that called me strange, weird, and thought that I lost my marbles, are the same people that come to me today for healing advice and readings and comfort. My doors are always open. I hold no hard feelings because I know that there's so many people out there that were and still are stuck in the amnesia stage, and they're under the spell. And I'm here for you when you wake up. With boundaries, of course. I want you guys to think about the rise of inflammation. You can actually pull this stuff up if you research it. Think about the rise of inflammation. Even in the last 10 years, how many people are suffering from something that is caused by inflammation? They did not have issues with inflammation in the past like they do today. Today, everyone suffers from inflammation. Everyone. Some people are suffering with silent inflammation, and they're dying from it. And they didn't even know they had the inflammation. They didn't know that they had the heart problem and died from it because of inflammation, because it was silent inflammation. Sometimes I wonder if the people that have that silent inflammation that pass from it, and it, it caused some sort of heart issue. I wonder if those are the same people that stick their phone in their bra and carry their phone around, or in their shirt pocket in their bra. I don't keep my phone on me. I do not carry my phone around on me. I don't talk on it. I put it on speakerphone, or I put wired, not wireless. I use wire headphones to talk. And I carry my phone in a bag over my shoulder with a shungite rock behind it, because I don't want any of that EMF crap in my body. I'm surrounded by enough of it. But sometimes I wonder if the silent inflammation is due from carrying your phone on your body. Now, in the 1960s is when they rolled out and started marketing rubber sole shoes. My father was actually in a shoe commercial, it was a shoe commercial, and he's on the front of a newspaper when they started rolling out these, advertising and marketing shoes with rubber soles. He's in the newspaper for one of those ads. I wish I could find it. I would have posted it. Shoot, my battery's low. I'm going to have to speed this up. Again, I'm not saying that inflammation is the only cause, to all of this disease. It's not just, not from not grounding. Our food, our water, air, stress, all plays a role in all of this too. Healing starts with being aware of what's causing you to feel and be unwell, so that you can make conscious changes, and healing begins with you. I'm bringing awareness to your realm. Now you have to, if you want to take this information and do something with it, that's on you. I recently got a grounding kit in February. I got a mat for my bed. This all came in the grounding kit. A mat for my bed, a long mat, looks kind of like a yoga mat, but skinnier. For the floor, I could sit on it. I could put my feet on it. I could put it on my desk, put my arms on it when I'm on the computer. But I use it mainly, the long one. I put it in front of me when I sit on the couch and watch TV, or I put it on the floor when I'm at the table working on my computer. And I put my feet on it barefoot. I also have the patches, and they plug into the wall. All of these things plug into the wall, the grounding port, and it's all in a grounding kit. And I think it was $150 for everything. It's a sweet deal. And it makes me feel so good. I use it because it's winter here in New York, and it's too cold to go outside barefoot. And we don't get a lot of sun. Since I've been using it, it's only been since February. Today's March 30th. I feel less joint pain. A lot of you guys know that I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I have a herniated disc, suffer with a lot of migraines. I have Graves' disease, thyroid eye disease, XYZ disease. It's all from inflammation. I have inflammation disease. But I love my kit. I noticed a difference. Normally, I would get up like 5-6 times to go pee in a night. I'd get up, I'd be very stiff, sore. Since I've been using the mat, I only get up once, maybe twice. I'm still a little stiff and sore, but not as much as I was. This is not a miracle cure, you guys. This is something that's helping. It's conscious changes, choices to help myself heal. I was getting at least one headache a week, a migraine, and they would last 3 days. I've only gotten one migraine. It lasted 2 days in the month of February. No, actually I didn't get any in February. I just got it in March, a week ago. Almost 2 weeks ago, actually. I sleep better. I love it. I really do. I love it. I do go barefoot outside in the summertime. Now, I live in the country now, so I do that. When I lived in the city, I did not dare take my shoes off when I lived in Manhattan. That's just nasty. Bums pee on the street, dogs poop on the sidewalk. The only place that I would consider taking my shoes and socks off would be Central Park or something, a park. But not like to walk around because it's pretty dirty in New York. But I still live in New York. I just live in the country now. I live in Western New York. I have a cornfield. It's my neighbor. But, you could also buy shoes now that ground you. They're expensive. Not even gonna lie, they're expensive. And some of them are kind of ugly. They need to upgrade these shoes if, people are gonna buy them. Because I'm not gonna buy them until they make them look nicer. I do like the flip-flops. I don't mind those. They're plain, but it's okay. But, if you're worried about your feet being dirty, you could just wash your feet. Soap and water, a little bucket outside your door. Like the bucket that you put your feet in before you get into a pool. You could do that too, before you come into your house. Wash your feet off, come inside. That's what I did all last summer. I washed my feet and then I come inside. Because I don't let people wear their shoes in my house. Because it's disgusting. But, if it's not your thing to be barefoot, you can get shoes, grounding shoes. I always feel better when I'm outside and I'm laying in the sun, or if I'm just laying on the ground, or I always feel great when I'm gardening. I love to be in my garden. I tell you what, guys, when I lived in Florida, I don't think I've ever had any body pain. I don't think I really got sick when I lived in Florida. I was younger. I lived in Florida, 12 years ago, something like that, 15 years ago. Wow, it's wild. Time goes by so fast. Shit, I lived in Florida in 2000. That wasn't even that long. Wow. Yeah. 13 years ago. Anyways, I don't think I ever got sick when I lived in Florida. I was never in pain. You know why? I was at the beach, no lie, every single day. Sometimes I went in the beach during the daytime with the kids, and we'd spend a majority of our day at the beach, especially if I was working, we went at nighttime. When I got out of work, we would eat dinner, and then we would go down to the beach. We would watch the sunset. Days that I was not working, we were at the beach all day long. We were always at the beach. We were always in the water. And I was never in pain. I think I was the healthiest when I lived in Florida, to be honest. But I made an effort to go to the beach every single day. I have a house cat. And she wasn't feeling very well. And I was sitting here and I was thinking to myself, it never even dawned on me until just recently, my house cat is insulated. And I was like, holy shit, my cat is insulated. She's not even grounded, my poor baby. So the only time I ever take her outside is in the summertime when it's warm. She's a house cat. She doesn't go outside. She doesn't even, she's scared of the outside. So I put a leash on her because she's not an outside cat. So I don't want her to dart in the road if she gets scared. And because she's an inside cat, I don't think she knows how to defend herself outside. So when we do go outside, I put a leash on her. But now I've been taking her outside when it's not snowing or raining, and I do this so that she can ground herself. When I'm grounding on my grounding mat that I just got, I pick her up and I hold her and I put her on my lap, because if I'm grounded, she's grounded. And I have a dog too. I have a little dog. And my little dog doesn't go outside like normal dogs do. It's like an inside dog. She's only an outside dog when the weather is good. So like spring, summer, early fall. Once it starts to get crispy cold, we are inside beings. we are inside creatures. We don't go outside. She did have a seizure, and I didn't put this together till I started to write, my video out. And when she had her seizure, I had this strong feeling to take her outside. Like this little voice said, Earth is healing. So I took my dog outside after she had a seizure because she was like sleepy and walking sideways and not well, no energy, nothing. And I was scared. So I took her outside because I had that strong urge to take her outside. So I did. And for 4 hours, every hour, I took her outside for just a little bit of time, just to get her outside into my thought process was fresh air, but I was being guided to take her out there because of the electrons. It was healing her. After 4 hours, she was good, as if she never had a seizure. She was great. I feel that the electrons gave my cat and dog energy, and me when I'm out there gardening and grounding barefoot. Energy, healing energy. Energy in general. Our body needs electrons for energy. Our mitochondria needs the ATP. Look it up. I was going to tell you what it is, but I'm running out of time because I only got 10%. I don't know why I didn't charge my phone. ATP is the fuel of life. It is a molecule in the body that stores and transfers energy in living cells. If you ground for at least 15 minutes, you will reduce inflammation in your body. Earthing, grounding calms your sympathetic nervous system, which is the system involved in energy expending, enabling your body to use energy appropriately to respond to stressful situations. That puts us in fight or flight response. If we're out of balance, it affects the whole entire body, causing you to have anxiety and disease from adrenal fatigue. Once we balance out our system, the adrenals will heal and recover, and most of the side effects will start to go away. So I'm going to end my video by challenging you guys to get outside. I know I said 5 minutes earlier, but please push for 15. I challenge you to ground for 15 minutes a day. Get earthing. Take your shoes off. Take your socks off. And stand in the grass or the dirt or the water. Just get outside. Take your shoes off. And I want you to report back to me in 30 days and tell me how you feel. Keep a journal. Also, in this video, I want to drop a link to the earthing company, the company where I got the kit from. I'm not getting any money or kickbacks or anything from this. All right, I'm just putting the link down there because I'm not a gatekeeper. I want to help you. I want to help you heal. I want you to feel good like me because I love you. I care about you. I care about you because you are me and I am you. If the kit I share seems to be too expensive, there are other companies out there that you can buy from. I just don't know how good or legit they are. I did a lot of research on the company where I got mine from. So that's the only reason why I'm sharing it. I really like the company that I got mine from. And it came with a free movie and a book, and I just thought that was awesome. And I learned a lot more from watching that movie. And it inspired me to do this video. It resonated with me. I've been grounding for years, but the movie really shared a different perspective that really got me wanting to do more to get connected. And it inspired me to make this video so I can inspire you to start healing. With that being said, I love you. Happy healing, soul family. Mwah.